Hi, thank you for watching this video where I'm going to discuss how to improve your fitness, your business, and make sure you're prepared to defend your loved ones. If you have additional questions and you would like to reach out to me, please feel free to let me know, and I'm more than happy to go over some additional ways that I could help you in those areas. My name is Eric Salgado. I spent over a decade competing in natural bodybuilding and men's physique competitions. I've also owned and operated a number of fitness studios and businesses where I helped people live an active, healthy lifestyle and lose weight. Some of those clients have never worked out before. They had medical issues and limitations and were required to start living a more active and healthy lifestyle by their medical professionals. Some of them were competitors and athletes themselves, and they were just looking for a way to get to that next level. I love working with people from all walks of life as long as they're willing to learn and have a grateful attitude. I've also, as I mentioned, operated a number of businesses and have been able to generate $2.5 million in a year. I've worked with some amazing business coaches, and I've also helped coach other businesses on how to avoid some common mistakes as well as optimize their businesses in order to provide for their families. Lastly, I am someone who was a wrestler in high school and have been used to training in, I guess, one-on-one kind of combat sports. I found myself in a couple situations where I was fortunate enough that I was able to utilize some of those skills in order to survive some brutal attacks. And I am also a firearm instructor, so I help people protect the things that they love the most. In this video, I would like to go over how the 4 Stoic virtues of wisdom, of courage, temperance, and justice are going to help you in those 3 areas of your life. Again, if you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out to me, and I hope we can work a little closer together. For right now, I thought I would start by, I guess, just discussing what is wisdom, what is courage, temperance, and justice. And then I'll go into those 3 areas that I discussed in order to show you how to improve in your life. So when it comes to what is, let's start with wisdom. Wisdom is basically allowing yourself to be teachable, understanding that no one knows everything and that we must constantly look for mentors, coaches, and people that are more experienced than us in order to help us so that we don't make mistakes that could be avoided. This will also help you optimize your results because you won't be, again, making those mistakes that might be holding you back. Now, courage means that you're willing to face challenges and you see failure as a stepping stone to success. So it doesn't mean that you don't feel fear. You probably are going to fear failing often, and that's good. However, you don't want that fear of failure to hold you back from taking action and from learning from some of those life experiences. When it comes to temperance, this basically means being disciplined, understanding that you're going to have to do things that you might not want to do in order to get to where you need to be. This is like working out and being consistent, eating the right foods, and training yourself physically to be ready to protect yourself. The last one is justice. And justice means doing the right thing even when no one else is watching. Now, I personally have found that I can be very disciplined in some aspects of my life, but in other aspects of my life, when no one's looking, it's easy to fall into bad habits. So I found that acting as if there is a God who is looking down at you and that wants you to live a just life will help you in order to do the right thing even when no one else is watching. And that is where faith and God's grace can be extremely powerful. So right now, let's go ahead and start with our first topic, which is how to be fit and lose weight. When it comes to this, I would say focus primarily on your nutrition. And the reason why I say this is because you cannot outrun your fork. You cannot outtrain a bad diet. You have to make sure you're fueling your body with the right nutrients, vitamins, and minerals in order to ensure that it's able to perform the way you want it to. So, the easiest way to start this off is first focus on eating wholesome foods instead of eating highly processed food products. So, this may mean that you have to meal prep, meaning you might have to cook your food in bulk and have it ready to go. Or if you are out and about, making wise choices that are going to nurture your body and not just fill it with a bunch of chemicals and empty calories. I always tell my clients that the first step to eating more wholesome is to imagine you have a caveman or cavewoman with you. And if they don't recognize what you're consuming as food, it's probably a highly processed food product. And with those highly processed food products, not only are you getting a lot of empty calories, you're also going to get an abundance of sodium that's utilized as a preservative, emulsifier, and texturizer. By eating more wholesome foods, you're able to salt and season those foods how you see fit, and you're more likely to burn calories while you're breaking that food down and actually be able to utilize those vitamins and minerals by absorbing it through the right organs in your system. So, what I would basically say is imagine you have a bowl of water, and let's say you put something highly processed in there. It would basically turn into mush after a few minutes. But if it was something like a wholesome food source, maybe a lean cut of meat or animal protein, maybe it's a fruit or a vegetable, you put that in that bowl of water, it's probably going to stay in its whole state for hours. And that just goes to show that highly processed food products are basically already broken down for you, and they could easily fall apart with very little energy needed. Eating more wholesome foods would actually require your body to burn calories in order to break it down first. Then it would absorb those calories more into your intestines and be able to actually utilize those calories and vitamins and minerals to help nurture your body. Instead of bombarding your body with a bunch of empty calories and sugars that it will just store for later use, causing you to gain weight instead of lose fat. So that's step number one. I would also recommend focusing primarily on eating lean protein sources such as chicken, turkey, and lean cuts of red meat, because these, and fish as well, because again, these will help you with building up and nurturing your lean body tissue. Now, I still recommend that you have some protein or carbohydrates, and those carbohydrates should be coming primarily from complex carbohydrate sources such as brown rice, sweet potatoes, and maybe some old-fashioned oatmeal. And these carbohydrate sources will break down slower in your body, releasing a small amount of sugar in your system as you go throughout the day. I typically will try to eat my protein in abundance, my carbohydrates in moderation, and I will have some healthy fats such as essential fatty acids. You could supplement with those. You could also get some healthy fats from avocados and coconuts as well. And I would try to keep those minimal. But again, I wouldn't cut them out because your body still needs fats as well. So the 2 steps I would give you for nutrition if you're just starting out is eat more wholesome foods, foods that are in their whole state that you're going to have to cook and prepare. Go ahead and season them because, again, you're not going to be getting a bunch of sodium from all these preservatives and emulsifiers and texturizers. And then prioritize lean protein sources and try to eat those as often as you can in abundance. And then moderate your carbohydrates and try to get them from more complex carbohydrate sources. And then minimize your fats, but make sure you're still getting those healthy fatty acids in your system. Now, when it comes to the workout, I would recommend focusing primarily on resistance training and then supplementing with cardiovascular training. So this means maybe doing about 45 minutes of resistance training 5 days a week if you can. Of course, you could modify your routine based off of your lifestyle, but I would try to focus on large muscle groups such as your legs, your back, your chest. And you could use body weight, you could use resistance bands, you could use machines, or you can use free weights. I do like to use free weights, but I also like to use my body weight for a lot of movements such as pull-ups, push-ups, and sometimes just some walking lunges. Now, how do you structure your workout? My recommendation is maybe do 15 minutes of cardio to warm yourself up, burn a couple calories, and get that blood circulating. Go ahead and start your resistance workout, and maybe you're going to pick 3 to 5 different exercises, and you're going to do 3 to 5 sets of those exercises in any format that you find fit, completing 10 to 20 repetitions per set. I don't think you have to work out to maximum intensity every single day, but you want to create a habit of always moving your body and applying some resistance so that you stimulate your muscle tissue and you could speed up your metabolism. The reason why I say stimulating your muscle tissue will speed up your metabolism is because 1 pound of muscle will burn 50 calories a day, even at rest. So, if you're able to build a couple pounds of lean muscle on your body, you are actually speeding up your basal metabolic rate and making it easier for you to maintain a healthy weight as you get older. You could also cool down with a little bit of cardio. So, sandwich your resistance training with cardio before and after. Sometimes, for example, right now, I'll do a little bit more cardio, maybe up to 30 minutes on the stairs. I'll do my resistance training, and then I'll take my dog for a walk. And that's my cool down. I do this about 6 days a week, sometimes 7. But again, I will have a couple of those workouts just be very, very light. And that's more of my active recovery where I'm not really pushing myself as much as I just want to get some blood circulating into those tissues and allow my body to recover. If you have any questions about how to be more consistent or optimize your workout routine or your diet, please feel free to reach out to me. A couple of additional tips that I will give you is that you want to be tracking your progress. And if your progress is to lose weight, I would say weigh yourself once a week on the same day at the same time. I would also recommend taking weekly progress photos, again on the same day at the same time, and taking a couple of measurements so that way you could track if your body composition is changing. And again, you would do that at the same time, at the same day, every week. This will help you mentally stay focused on your goals because sometimes the weight won't necessarily drop, but your body composition is still changing. And you might see that in those pictures, or in the measurements that you're taking. You should also try to give yourself about 6 weeks doing a program and having a routine to evaluate your results. Again, this is not a quick fix. This is a lifestyle, and find a way to enjoy this journey. Also, be grateful for the fact that you're able to do these workouts and movements and eat wholesome foods. There are people in the hospital that are fighting for their life, and they wish they had the ability to move their body and to eat actual food. So again, even though this might seem like a little bit of a chore at first, I think if you have the right mindset, you look at this as a learning experience, you will become very successful at transforming your lifestyle and your body to be more active, healthy, and fit. Additionally, if you want to grow a successful business, again, we want to practice wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice. So, seeking a mentor, someone that has years of experience, is definitely helpful. My mentor was Dr. Saman Bakhtiar, and when I started my businesses, I had to learn a couple of key things. One, you want to market your business, but you also need to control your costs. If you're making a lot of money, but your costs are through the roof, you will not have any money left over to reinvest in your business or to support yourself and your family with. Some marketing techniques that I've used for my business include social media ads, getting clients and customers engaged through contests so that they could post reviews and progress pictures of themselves as they go through one of our programs. This could be a simple take a picture with a product that you enjoy and write a brief review for a chance to win a free shirt. There's many different ways you could do promotional or marketing contests. Another thing that I've done is the person that loses the most weight in a month at my fitness studio will get $10 per pound lost, and they will be featured in a little newsletter that I create for the community and my business. I then take that newsletter that I created and I distribute it to the local hair salons, nail salons, dental office, auto repair shops, any place that has a lobby where people are going to be waiting to be serviced. This allows those people that are waiting to read up a little bit about our business, about myself and my virtues, as well as my clients and what they were able to achieve, where they kind of were coming from mentally and lifestyle. And again, it just entices people to feel comfortable reaching out to you. And of course, you could have your contact information on there as well. Now, controlling the cost of your operations means that you don't spend money unnecessarily. Yes, you want to improve your business, but not everything is essential. You should look at what's going to enhance the customer's experience. Invest in your staff. Invest in having a clean facility. And invest in the essential tools necessary to either create that product or service your customers. This also means you want to put systems in place to make sure that everyone's working efficiently and they're not wasting resources unnecessarily. So having checkoff lists, policies, and procedures that will help them understand what is necessary to have a successful shift, week, or month in your business. I also do recommend having regular training meetings, as well as acknowledging those on your team that are performing well so that others get motivated and want to continue to push the organization in the right direction. If you have any questions on business and would like some business consulting, please feel free to reach out to me, as I would love to work with you. The final topic that I would like to discuss is self-defense. Again, I was a wrestler in high school, and I was able to utilize this in an instance when some people came into a party that I was at. It was a house party, and they jumped my friend. I ended up getting jumped. My brother ended up getting jumped. These individuals had brass knuckles, they had lead pipes, and one of them even had a pistol on him. At this, and during this situation, what happened is one of our friends was getting beat up. I moved in order to help him. I ended up getting jumped, dragged into a corner, and stomped out. Luckily, I had a jacket on. I was able to cover my head. I was able to recover from the daze that I was in and utilize the wrestling techniques I learned to double leg take down a person in front of me, as well as fight my way out of that situation. I also had an instance in one of my businesses where a gentleman came in off the streets, high off substances, smelling like urine and alcohol. His eyes were glazed over. He was harassing my front desk staff. He refused to leave. He was grabbing merchandise. And he proceeded to punch me in the face when I confronted him. We got into a bit of a scuffle. We pushed him outside, and he proceeded to pull out a knife and try to stab me. Luckily, at this time, I was armed and I was able to hold him back as he continued to try to get back into my business. Eventually, he left. The cops came. The ambulance showed up. Luckily, I had no major injuries, but it was a very, very terrifying experience, and one that if I was not physically in good shape, if I was not able to defend myself with hand-to-hand combat, as well as prevent him from re-entering my business by utilizing my firearm to hold him off, I do not know what would have happened and if I would be here today. I am a firearm instructor, and if anyone out there is interested in learning how to properly defend themselves, I would be more than happy to help you. But there are a couple things I could talk to you about right now. Be aware of your surroundings. Again, sometimes you may not be looking for trouble, but if you're stuck in your phone, walking around in a bad area, if you're just oblivious to the people around you at any given moment, you may fall victim to some sort of crime, whether it's a kidnapping, whether it's a robbery, or just a vicious attack. So being aware of your surrounding is one thing. Also, if you find yourself in a situation where there's going to be a confrontation, I would recommend removing yourself from that situation as quickly as possible. Again, the best way to win a fight is to avoid it. You don't want to seek trouble. You just want to have the tools necessary to defend yourself if trouble comes to you. So, being physically fit, being able to move is actually a great way to survive and defend yourself. A lot of criminals say that they look for victims that they feel are going to be easy. I have a friend, had a friend that passed away, and he was a very frail gentleman. And when he was leaving a bar one night, he was jumped and beaten to death. Again, he did not look for trouble, but because of his frame, these people probably thought he would be an easy victim. Not everyone's going to be able to be a large muscular person, but having some awareness of your surroundings, being physically fit so you could avoid confrontation when it confronts you, and or being trained with a firearm to defend yourself is always something that I think is very, very useful in helping you survive bad situations. Now, let's say you were trained and you had wrestling experience or martial arts experience. What happens if the people attacking you outnumber you and have weapons? Again, you could try to run and try to avoid that situation, but there might be situations where you are cornered. And this is why I do feel very strongly about learning about how to properly utilize a firearm to defend yourself and your loved ones. If you would like to learn more and have me as your firearm instructor, please feel free to go ahead and reach out and we could see what we could do to help teach you how to be a responsible firearm handler. In summary, I would like to say that all three of these areas of your life are things that you're going to constantly work at improving. You're never going to be as fit as you want to be. There's always going to be something else that you're going to want to achieve with your health, with your fitness, and that's okay. Find different ways to challenge yourself, whether it's doing a triathlon, maybe a 5K, maybe a fitness competition, or maybe it's just a trip you want to do and you want to do a certain amount of miles or hikes or just being able to go sightseeing. But try to do something that's going to be fun and rewarding that will challenge you. In business as well, you may feel like you've made it and then the economy is going to change, or your industry is going to change, or maybe the product or service that you're offering is just not the new shiny object anymore. So be willing to adapt and try not to let your ego get tied into your business too much. And then with self-defense. Self-defense is not about bullying other people. It's about being the best version of yourself that you can be for your family and your loved ones. I hope this information was helpful. Again, my name's Eric Salgado. I do have years of experience in fitness, business, as well as in self-defense, and I would love to be able to work with you a little bit more closely. Hopefully this information was helpful. May God bless you, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye.